Today, in this video, we're going to be making another egg holder. So, I don't know what else to say, except let's get to it. So right here, we're going to take our pencil and tape measure and mark out 16 inches on our board. Then we're going to cut that. Throw that aside and do it again. Right there on the dot. And that's all we're going to need for this egg holder. For the actual holder part. We're going to need some more of this, so save this part. Okay, so don't mind these. These are just for a custom order. I'm having to make a bunch of them. But you're just going to take one of these. We're going to pull it to the side right here and pull over from 3 inches. Because our board is 16 inches long, so we're going to start at 3 inches and jump up 2 inches every time. So it's 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And then take your square, square those marks up. Doesn't have to be all the way down, but it's good enough here. And then we're going to pull over to the side and pull over with our marking tape 1.5 inches and 4 inches. And then we are going to take our square again, come down, mark 1.5 and 4, and do that on all 6 lines. And then we're going to just do that with the other one, because if you're building one egg holder, you're just going to do 2. Since I'm building multiple egg holders, I'm going to do a bunch. So I'm just going to fast forward through that part, but just remember, all you need is 2. Okay, so now, after we get everything marked, we take, you don't have to do this, but it makes it a lot easier for me. You can get a punch. If you don't have one of these already, I'll link it down in the description. But these are very, very handy, and basically all they do is just punch holes in wood. So if you use Forstner bits, which is what we're going to use, the little points on the bit will just fall right into that hole, won't move anywhere. So you don't have to get this, it's optional, but it's really handy for me. We're just going to punch all the intersecting points. Onto the second board. So right here we are going to be cutting our tops for our egg holder. And so we're going to mark 15 1/4. Oh, hold on. Can't start with this buddy on there. They've been stinging like migrating around here. They're just totally invading the shop. And then we are going to take tape measure. Sure, it's 15 1/4. It's pretty good. And we're gonna cut, well, if you're making one, you're gonna cut one of these. But since I'm making 6 of them, I'm gonna cut 6. Now I found a piece at Sutherland's Home Base, which you might not have one in your town, but you can get them at Home Depot if they have them. But I just found a nice piece of pine that was really knotty. And I think that will look really good with this egg holder, especially after it's stained. So we're going to use this as our walls. So we're going to take our tape measure, pull over 9 3/4. And y'all are going to cut 2 of those. Bam. You got 2 really cool knotty pieces. Okay, so for this part, you're going to take your pieces and determine which side's going to be the outside and which side's going to be in the inside, which I think, and which side's going to be the bottom, which side's going to be the top. So I think this side's going to be the top and this is going to be the outside because I think this just looks really cool. So I'm going to mark on my inside and take my tape measure and pull up to 1 1/4. Then I'm going to jump up to 1 3/4. Then I'm going to go all the way up to 5 1/4. And then 5 3/4. Then square those marks up to one edge. It does not matter which edge, or you could do it all the way across. I'm just doing one edge to kind of save a little time because I'm going to be working a lot on these. And then you're going to take your next piece, determine which is that the outside, which is the inside. Start marking. Alright, so right here, we're going to get our boards that are marked like this and get a 1 3/8 Forstner bit. And you're going to want to set it to where it just bottoms out to make just a big enough hole for you to see on the other side so you can push it out. So I'm going to drill that hole. You can see, maybe, there's a hole through there. Now you can see it. I have mine set to where it's just enough to where I can just push it through. No problem. And the reason you don't want to go all the way through is because it'll split it and ruin it. So don't do that. I've tried it. I'm the one making it. So don't go all the way through. Let it bottom out. And then you're just going to drill both boards. And now, since I drilled right through these 2 knots, didn't fully go through, so I'm just going to flip it over, find the hole that I made, and make sure I don't mess it up. Just go just enough where I can maybe push it out, but don't think I need to. Already got it. now just comes right out. You can either do that if you want, instead of just punch them out like I do. But it makes it a lot nicer, a lot faster, but it doesn't really matter, because if you punch it out, you just need a hole for a router to get through, and then that router will just take care of all the little pieces that are still in. And then if you can't get it out, if you got one of those punches that I linked below, you should be able to just do the punch and that'll get it out. That's what I usually do. Okay, got done with this board. Now let's move on to the next. Done with this one. Now we just punch it out. And that is all you need to drill. Now, we're going to move on to routing these holes. Right here, we are now at routing. And I have a 3/8 roundover bit. And I'm going to get it set to the right depth I want it. Just enough so we can route these holes. So let's get to routing. That's exactly why you wear safety glasses. I'm back with safety glasses. And done routing the holes. What these look like. And now we are going to put the little hinge on the ends of these so it can slide in and out of the holder. Alright, so got our planer here, nice DeWalt, and I'm going to take barely any off. So probably like a 32, I don't know how to say it, 32nd of an inch. I don't know how to say it. Tell me in the comments how to say it.
Somewhere where the road ends, out there where the creek bends, that's where you can find me. With them fields of gold and cotton rolls, that never-ending sky, that take it slow.
Alright, now that I've got that side all down and sanded, it's time to do it again.
But if this ain't heaven, it's halfway there. You can feel it in the air. Caught up in the country, the only way I wanna be. Somewhere where the road ends, out there where the creek bends, that's where you can find me. With them fields of gold and cotton rolls, that never-ending sky, that take it slow, easy road, man, that's life. Caught up in the country.
Okay, so I'm gonna sand this down because my planer just leaves these little grooves. It's just like misaligned or something. We need to adjust it just a little bit. I'm gonna sand it just to get what the planer didn't get. And then I guess we'll go on to routing. There we go. That's all you need to do for sanding. And if you don't have a planer, then you're gonna have to do a little more. But if I had a planer, it was a lot easier for me, and I could get it done really fast. So I guess let's move on to routing. Okay, so one thing I gotta tell y'all first before we get started is be careful with nails. If you haven't watched that short, go watch it. Posted a short, and I was building these things, and I stuck myself pretty good. Nothing like super bad, but it hurt. Definitely hurt. So I've got a little jig set up. I have some boards nailed to the table. Basically, it's a 45 to get a good 45 for the egg holders that I have. So I'm gonna put this like this. Bring that up. And I can just put it alongside that and get it straight up on it, glue it up, and have a good 45 without having to do a bunch of measuring and stuff. But we're just gonna pick this dry glue off. Glue that up. Bam. We're gonna put that there. Have that right there. I'm gonna come around here and nail this on. Right there. You got that side done. You got glued up hands. Now we can get that to a nice 45. We're just gonna do the same thing with the other side. And perfect. Do that to get the nails, make sure they're in. And now we're gonna get a long clamp. Just clamp this side up. So now we know it's a perfect 45, but just in case, let's check it. Perfect. Now I just cut these little like 3/16 inch thick strips. I'm just gonna put it over the back of the little slits we made, so when we slide our egg holder in, it won't fall out. Perfect. That could not have turned out like any better. And now we can go route. Alright, right here I have everything routed, sanded, and blown off. So now we can start staining with my favorite stain, the red oak. Let's go. easy and good profit project. Just drove me a little crazy building 6 of them. And I cannot think of an easier project that gives more profit than this one. So hit that follow button and like the video so you can be notified next time I make another awesome project. So I'll see you in the next video.